I don't know what happened. I started freezing. And when I saw myself, I said to myself, I don't talk like that. Looking like a broken record. I was like, no, no, I don't talk like that. I said, so let me go on ahead and just log out and log back in. And I ran to this the other week where it was freezing up. So I need to check my equipment and see, is it the internet connection? Because I don't think it's my phone. And I do apologize for that, y'all. I really do. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and recap what happened last week. What happened last week was, week before last is when I did a giveaway. Somebody tried to come in and impersonate the person who um, won the card by saying that the email was jacked up. Can you send it to this email and this, that, and the other? But see, the thing is, it was about timing. That's how I knew it was a scam. Because this person who did enter, who was Liza Garice, congratulations. Liza sent her entry like way before time for the thing to end. And didn't and you know and I congratulated her, and she didn't say anything during that time that she entered till the time that the contest ended about having any problems with her email. It wasn't until around the time of the deadline and when I announced the winner, all of a sudden this person pops up. So I was trying to get proof and said, could you give me a general idea as to when you subscribed? And Liza couldn't tell me exactly when, but she gave me an idea. And also too, her email was more conversational and more personal. That's the garage door. The dogs are being let in or out. So, okay. But anyway, so what happened with that is, I told her, I said, well, I'm gonna have a little fun with this. So every time they emailed me or something, they would come back to me and say, oh, well, when am I? I'm so excited. Thank you. When am I gonna get it? I love your channel. Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, that's great. That's wonderful. But it didn't seem authentic as far as talking to a person. And y'all got to understand, I got a background in behavioral sciences. Don't play with me. You know, I can tell when somebody, even in written conversation, whether or not it's real or it's fake. And so I kind of went back and forth with them for a while, and then eventually I got the information from Liza and I sent it to her. I just played with them for the day. And I said, well, I left them hanging, basically. And they didn't come back to me, so I guess I figured out what was going on. So that was that scam attempt that happened during that time on the very first giveaway. And I don't know if I even mentioned this. I think I mentioned this in one of my videos about how scammers do this. They have a black market for gift cards. They have different sites that you could go to. Some of them are legit, some of them are not. But you can actually take the gift card numbers and enter them into the system and actually get cash back. It won't be the whole value of the card. Um, it might be a discounted amount, but still it'll be cash. So as long as they have that, they can get tons of money from this. And they actually have different people online who actually scam scammers. They pretend to be people so they're playing like watchdog vigilante, and they scam scammers. Kitboga is a good channel to watch if you want to watch that, because he plays all of the different parts and disguises his voice and costumes and everything else. And he has his fake phone number and puts his information out there. He has a fake website for a bank and everything, and it helps you learn of all the links that they go to. And that's why I learned about the gift cards, because people will call you and say, oh, just give me the numbers to the gift cards and da 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 da. Or they'll tell you to pay them in gift cards for something that you know for a fact should be paid for by way of bank account, credit card, or, you got to be careful with that. So watching channels like Kitboga, and I'm sure there's some other ones, and that's Kitboga, by the way. I think I'll put the link in the description to the channel, but it's a lot of fun to watch. Some of his streams are long because the um the I'm trying to avoid looking at these comments because I think they're getting a little weird. Aaron Jager, if you are saying what I think you're saying, Instead of good morning, goodbye to you. Okay? So until you, I'm going to give you a few minutes to address me properly, because if you can't address me properly, you can go and I'll report your channel to YouTube. Okay? Because what you're saying right there is something that is not taken very well in the U.S. So I'm hoping that that's a typo. So I'm gonna cut you some slack. I'm gonna give you a few minutes um, to collect yourself. And if you don't in a few minutes, then you gotta go. You're 5 minutes and 41 seconds into this, so you can have hello. There you go. How you doing today? That'll work. Thank you. Yeah, because that was kind of weird. Welcome for joining. Thank you for joining, Aaron. So the next order of business, the next contest is underway. If you have not entered, please do so. You got till the 14th of November to do it. I will be doing a special live on the 15th of November announcing the winner for the gift card. And again, it's my way of thanking you for joining the channel. Um, and again, now that we talk about scams, I did mention that I do have a couple of videos to talk about holiday energy and the links that people go through for Christmas and New Year's if you celebrate that. Or Thanksgiving, or this is the holiday season for a lot of countries, and and that means something different in every country. And people really go out of their way to go into debt. Their behaviors change, and for this time of the year, it's not good for some people. A lot of people are really excited this time of the year, but a lot of people are sad because I think I shared in my previous video that I had a brother who died around the holiday season in 2016. And a couple months before he passed, my son's father, my youngest child, he died. He died in October, and my oldest brother died in December. So um, that was kind of a bit of a time for me. But for some people, they don't, they stop celebrating the holidays. They don't have anything to do with the holidays because the effect of the loss is just too great. Um, and a lot of people get depressed this time of the year. And there was a time a couple of years ago where I was actually doing counseling with a lot of people. I specialize in drug rehab support. And basically, if you don't know what that is, um, a lot of people will go through rehab. And of course, if you don't know my rehab story, check out the live stream. It's called More Bottles in the Dumpster. Um, I signed up with a service where you can go online and you can counsel people. You go into this database, and it was a lengthy process to be qualified. You had to have your credentials verified, and had to check your references and this, that, and the other. And they wasn't just going to let anybody counsel. And what you do is, you go into this database, and you choose whoever you want to choose. And in your profile, you have to indicate what areas you want to counsel on. And basically, what people can either chat with you, or they can call you on the phone. And once you set up your profile, they'll give you your own extension and everything. And whenever you get ready to log in, because you could do it whenever you want. Oh, no problem, Aaron. No problem at all. It's okay. It's just a misunderstanding. Um, If you haven't entered, please enter, because I appreciate you coming here. Um, and enter. And I think you're subscribed to the channel. I could have sworn I saw it in the lineup. If not, make sure you subscribe so you qualify. Okay. Thank you for supporting me. I really appreciate that. So, as far as the site goes, you have to specialize. If you have a degree in psychology, sociology, whatever, counseling, um, you have to specialize in your profile, what your area expertise is as far as assisting the people that are coming in. And mine is post rehab support, and that's basically providing emotional and spiritual support to after someone finishes rehab, in addition to them going to support meetings, just everyday stuff. Because a lot of people, when they finish rehab, they'll go to meetings, but once the meeting is over, then what? How do you navigate every single day? And for a lot of them, they can't function because the only source of support they have are meetings. So they become meeting junkies because they know that's the only group of people that they can go to understand their situation and to have the resources. But sometimes meetings aren't available in a lot of places. A lot of the bigger cities, they have more of them. They're every single day. And, well, thank you so much. That's so sweet, Aaron. Thank you. Now, is that Jaeger or Jaeger? I want to say it's Jaeger. But anyway, I try to make sure I pronounce everybody's names correctly. But thank you so much. I appreciate that. Um, but yeah, in a lot of larger cities, they have NA and AA meetings available every single day. But if you live in a smaller community, you may not have it, or you may have to travel somewhere else. But during that time, what do you do? You know, if you don't have a meeting, what do you do? Who do you talk to? Your sponsor might not be available if you have a sponsor, or your counselor, or whatever the case may be. How do you navigate all those other times? What if a time strikes you where you just got out, or you just got out of rehab, or incarceration because something related to drugs, and you come across a situation that's stressful, and you start getting those feelings, those needs to pick up? Who do you talk to? So that's why this particular site was pretty cool, and I signed up with them, and I got paid per minute based on the calls, which is great. um, and I would just log in whenever I needed to log in. So I was doing that for a while, and I noticed that over the holidays, between I would say the middle of September until the middle or the end of January, there's an uptick. I mean, it's like 2 to 3 times more people on the phone than there would be any other time of the year. And people would just be calling. So if I logged in, and I normally did it Friday night, Saturdays, and Sundays, um, I could just log on any given time. And I mean, 4 o'clock in the morning, I could log on, and it wouldn't even be 10 minutes, and all of a sudden somebody's coming through on the phone. So, this could be a hard time for a lot of people. So I did a couple of Instagram videos that I moved over to YouTube, and starting on the first, I want to say the first, second, and third of November, the first or the second and third, between the first and the third of November, look out for those videos they call holiday energy, and they talk a lot about the behaviors that people do, people who aren't in rehab, just regular traditions that people have, how people become super nice or super sensitive or whatever during the holidays, and then once the holidays are over, all of a sudden they go right back to being jerks and assholes. So, and it's like every single year, all the time, and I'm like, why? How you get caught up in traditions. And then for those of you who watched my videos this week, I do address messy traditions, and that's one of them. So please keep an eye out for that. Maybe that can help you navigate and help you understand why people act the way they do. If you're like me, I'm very selective as to who I spend my holidays with, because, when I was younger, I didn't have much of a choice, and we wound up going to spend time with people I knew didn't like me or care anything about me. So, and I couldn't wait to be grown so I could leave these people alone. So I was like, nope. So in addition to the behaviors, we have to be aware of the scams. And I just told you about one with the gift cards. Okay? Now there's another one. If you guys haven't noticed this time of the year, if you live in a country where you have a lot of telemarketers that are calling, you got people that are telemarketing, asking you to donate to some charity and this, that, and the other. You don't know what that charity is. Anything to get you to give your banking information over the phone. Do not do it. And a lot of them are usually charities this time of year. Charities, or they tell you that you won a sweepstakes, one of the two, where they're going to require your banking information. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. These are nothing but a whole bunch of people, God knows where, that have a whole bunch of cell phones sitting in a warehouse somewhere to call themselves a company, trying to scam people out of their money. Leave them alone. Don't, I usually do. I'm the type of person, as a guideline, if I see a number I don't recognize on my phone, I don't answer it. Because if it's important, they'll leave a voicemail. And more than likely, these companies are not going to do that because they're instructed not to. They're only instructed to speak to the people who answer the phone. And if they wind up getting a voicemail, they're instructed to hang up. I know that because I've dealt with people who dealt with telemarketing companies. Some people are literally going through the yellowpages.com or whatever it is and just finding random people to get money, especially with Americans because they know that we have a tendency to spend a whole lot of extra money over the holidays and they're trying to get some. So don't do it. Just don't do it. But like I said, as a general rule, it's also in the mail. Um, I'm going to use my housemate as an example. My housemate has been getting all kind of mail about sell your house, we'll pay you, and put a fake check in there and say this is how much you can get for your house if you sell it right now, or let me give you a discount on your insurance and da 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 da. Thank you. Oh, I love you too for supporting me. I appreciate that. You know, it's just a labor of love. Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate that. Um, it's good to know that I'm helping somebody, and all of these are just through experience. Okay, my experience is sharing with someone, and if it helps one person a day, that's all I care about. Um, but yeah, the mail scams, mailbox full every day with just junk. You know, yeah, but yeah, had a fake check in there and said, sell your house for da 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 da, and and it looked like a real check until you turn that sucker over, when it says this is not a real check. So for those of you who ever received a check, you already know it's got watermarks. First of all, you could tell it wasn't a check if you look real hard in the front, because the check didn't have any routing numbers, didn't have any account number at the bottom. They didn't have the bank that was listed at the bottom of the check. And if those things aren't on the check, it's not a check, y'all. And besides, if you flip it over, there's supposed to be a section up on a watermark section where you're supposed to be able to endorse it on the back. There was none of that. It very clearly said on the back of that piece of paper, this is not a check. So they were just trying to bait you to open the mail, and it worked, you know. But nobody's going to do that. But you'd be surprised. You're going to hear about people getting scammed on TV, you know, and a lot of them are older people and things like that. My roommate is an older person, and I'm starting to get that age, where I'm starting to get some stuff too. But I haven't officially retired yet. So once I get around retirement age, I know it's going to be really bad. My mailbox is probably so going to be so full. And so, whatever, it goes in the shredder as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, I'm not going to go much longer, but I do appreciate you guys coming through. I just had a few things on the list I wanted to share with you guys, and that was basically it. Um, Next week, which is the first weekend in November, I want to talk about some of the fables and fairy tales that go on during the holidays, some of the stories that were told. Now, you guys already know about the Santa Claus situation, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about it because it was based on a real saint. However, for some reason, somebody went berserk and decided to create this story. And like I said, I hope this is not for children because I don't want to burst their bubble. All of my videos are clearly indicated that they're not for kids, so hopefully there are no kids watching this. Um, yeah, yeah. So next week, I'm going to talk about how some of the original fairy tales that were written back in the day that we told our children, they were actually pretty gory and graphic. And I learned this when I was in college because when I went back to college, I was an adult returning to school. I had two part-time jobs on campus. And I think I shared where I was a cashier in the cafeteria, but also my other job was working as an office assistant for one of the departments on campus, and one of them was the literature department. And it was very interesting talking to those professors as they passed through. And one of them was a German professor who he actually did something in class, and he was very very smart, very friendly guy, and he shared with me some of the content of one of the days that he talked about how some of the old fairy tales, the original form of the fairy tales, were very graphic and violent. You know, it was something else. So we'll talk a little bit about that because I have to dig up some of those notes on it. But anyway, thank you so much for coming through today. I do appreciate you guys, and the continued support. I do have to go, Aaron. I'm sorry. Today is Sunday, and I have to start Sunday dinner. And Sunday dinner involves today. I'm either going to do Salisbury steak or meatloaf, and I'm going to do some mashed potatoes and some broccoli. And I haven't even chopped up the broccoli yet. And I usually like to start eating around maybe 2 or 3 o'clock, and I got a ton of cleaning to do. So I'll definitely be back. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to email me, PeachyPathfinder@gmail.com. It doesn't have to be anything urgent. You could just say hi. My other email address is regert, REGGIRT, at myyahoo.com as well. I'd love to hear from you guys. I make it a point to answer everyone's comments. I check comments every single morning, so I try to make it a point to get back to you within 24 hours after you leave a comment. That's why I'm not in a huge hurry for us to grow too fast, because I still want to keep that personal connection with you guys. With me, it's not quantity, it's quality. Um, the video uploads will continue every single day. And I do have a special trip that I'm going to be taking in a few weeks. So my live will probably be, instead of being Sunday, it'll be Saturday evening. I'll make that announcement as soon as I get all the plans organized, because I'll be leaving in a few weeks. It'll be for my birthday weekend. And please keep an eye on the community page, because that's where I put my channel updates, my sweepstake updates, and everything else. But again, if you reach out to me via comment, I will reach back to you within 24 hours. I hope you're having a good afternoon, a good morning, a good day. And again, thank you so much for your support. And I'll see you guys later.